Welcome to Daily Meditation with Sangha Live.
Hi everyone, and good morning. I hope you're well. Very happy to be here with you today again, tuning towards Metta. I had a kind of fantasy, maybe not a fantasy, but an idea. I had an idea that when my child will be born, and she was born about 6 months ago, I'll start my teachings kind of from the beginning again. What I mean by that is that I will take time to re-establish some of the bases that I took quite a long time to establish when I began teaching about, I don't know, probably 5 years ago or a bit more, and we'll kind of build gradually again. And now, after she was born, and I also moved to a new country under, let's say, circumstances that are maybe not ideal, then I find myself being very, very happy for that direction. Really, I was reflecting this morning. I told you yesterday I was doing this retreat with Rob. When was it? About a decade ago or something. A little bit more than that. And in a way, the meta aspect of the retreat is the most, let's say, basic and kind of ground level thing that he taught me and contributed to my practice. But I really don't know how I would do without it. Without the metta, and also without the duration of time, the deep dive into metta. So I'm very happy to be here with you today and offering this. As you can see, I'm in the same spot I was in yesterday because the internet in my apartment doesn't work yet, and I hope that's fine with you. Kind of improvising the circumstances a little bit. I think it's in a way very appropriate. There's something about the practice of metta that's meant to be inclusive and open and grounded in day-to-day life. So here we are in day-to-day life. Thanks all of you for your good mornings. It's really lovely to receive all that. And yeah, for me, but I think mostly for the other people around. So today I'll speak a little bit more about the practice of metta, then we'll be practicing a little bit, and then there will be time for questions and comments. Let me find my notes. So metta practice, the cultivation, the nourishing of seeds of goodwill, kindness, friendliness, it needs some level of effort. It needs some encouragement. Unfortunately, this is not the trivial mode. This is not the default mode for the human heart, even though it's a very natural movement. So we do need to sustain a kind of some level of effort during our meditations and also during the day, just a little bit inclining again and again in the direction of metta. But that effort needs to be quite light, or actually very light. So consistent, alive, in a way enthusiastic, and light. And that's a kind of good thing to learn anyway, how to do such a thing, how to go enthusiastically and systematically and seriously about something while not pushing it or over leaning on it. So we want to keep the effort quite light, and broadly speaking, we want to move in the direction of a certain harmonization of the being, That's something that characterizes a lot of meditations in the Dharma. We want to move in the direction of harmonization. Eventually, metta is a nourishing, pleasurable field of experience that we want to nourish for ourselves and contribute to others. We want to enjoy it. And that enjoyment comes because after a while of inclining in the direction of metta, the being becomes more harmonized, homogenized, integrated, you can say, available. The energies of the being that were kind of scattered around with restlessness and aversion, they calm down and they collect. And when the energies, the powers of the heart and the mind and the body are collected, it feels good. Maybe wonderfully good, maybe ecstatically good, maybe nice or slightly nicer. And we want to actually cultivate such an harmonization, also enjoy it, nourish ourselves on it. Slowly and gradually, it replaces other kinds of nourishment that in a way encourage more and come out of more scatteredness and fragmentation and reification of self and world. The harmonization that comes from metta is quite integrating, quite calming, relaxing, and gives you a ground on which you don't need to push and pull and chase all that much. You are okay. It creates a sense of a pleasant abiding. Part of that thing where trying to cultivate this harmonization is bodily. A big part of it is actually bodily. It can feel like a warmth, it can feel like a bubbliness, it can feel like lightness or a kind of elation or buoyancy. It can feel like, I don't have a word for this movement. It can feel a little bit like that. And again, not necessarily dramatic, just a tiny bit, just moving in that direction and improvising in that direction. Of course, a lot of it will be improvisational. A lot of it will be kind of dynamically navigating in the conditions of this heart and this mind. And this heart and this mind can throw all sorts of things. Maybe at some point I'll speak about more complex emotions, etc. But right now we can start by speaking about tiredness and restlessness, which are very common for everyone. And when you begin to meditate, you can really feel them. So if the mind is a little bit tired, the body is a little bit tired, you can sit a bit more upright. You can imagine light radiating. You can sit with eyes open. You can use the phrases more intensively in order to kind of create energy and movement in the being. You can practice walking back and forth. If there is a lot of restlessness, you can expand your awareness, make it quite broad, relax the effort, let the metta be very light, kind of touch your experience, touch your being in its restlessness, in its bubbliness, with a sense of it's okay. Well, that's a part of the big range of what metta may mean. It may mean it's okay. So with restlessness, that really helps. The expansion thing that I've mentioned with regard to restlessness is very effective with tiredness as well. You can expand the awareness and you can go very wide, or you can just stretch the whole body. Stretching again and again to the whole body. It really helps the energies to balance in a way. So we have the phrases, and that's a kind of distinct method or kind of something that sometimes comes or people associate with the metta practice very closely. It may be central for you or not, you know. And as I told you yesterday, sometimes I still hear people saying, well, I don't like metta because I don't like using the phrases. It's fine. The phrases are not the central thing. But they can be a good guidance, a good support, a good encouragement for the heart and mind, because your heart and mind, or most people's heart and mind, are saying things anyway, and the things that they're saying may or may not be very helpful. So the metta can replace these repetitive voices that are telling you, you should do more of this. You should have done that. Why did you do this? Why did she or he was like that? What's going to happen? All these voices may be very subtle, maybe very soft, quite repetitive, and they have an impact on the being. Gradually, the meta phrases can replace those, maybe sit on that same level of some things that the mind is saying that are not necessarily that kind of strong or obvious or new necessarily, but they're creating a kind of groove, a kind of habit, a kind of, all right, this is what I'm thinking about. This is what's hanging out in my system, so to say. The meta phrases can replace that and incline the system in a different direction. This system. I don't like these words, but fine. You got what I meant. So with the phrases, you can also play. And another secondary benefit of the metta practice is that you learn to work with these movements of being. You learn to work with the sense of the body, with inner speech, with imagination. These things are active all the time, right? When you're in a kind of deep inner critic, if that sometimes happens to you, or in kind of criticizing another, or in this or that kind of, I don't know, tunnel, it involves inner speech, a sense of the body, and a kind of imagination or a kind of picture or an aesthetic of how things are. In metta practice, you play with all this. You learn to create an alternative, and through that, you also learn to how these aspects of being work and how you can work with them creatively so they don't just push you and pull you around wherever they want. So that they are serving what's good in you and for you, not the other way around. So you can play with all these aspects. With the phrases, you can say them more intensively and kind of strongly and repeat them if you're tired or the mind just doesn't get it. May you be well. May you be well. Or may you be safe and protected. May you be safe and protected. And now, saying it for the second time, my mind is there. The first time I was just, all right, and second time my mind can really hear that. So you can say the phrases twice if you want. You can say them more kind of loudly inside or more softly. Depends on the tone that works for you right now, and you can play with it and check. That's part of learning. What tone do I need to use? May you be safe and protected. That relaxes something, that calms something, that feels good. Sometimes things become really subtle, and then you don't need to use the whole phrase. You can just use one word, happy, happy, or just the word metta, to remind yourself, metta. Sometimes using the phrase is very kind of frequently works, but sometimes you want to spread them much more. It's just like, may you be happy and peaceful. You say that and you sit there and you let it echo, maybe for a minute, maybe for 5 minutes. And then you remind yourself safe and protected or happy and peaceful. Just as a reminder, and let it echo again, let it chime in the brain. All right, I said enough. Today we'll practice with ourselves, with the easiest person, and with a friend. I was planning to say more about the self, but I will say more tomorrow. The category that we're adding is the friend. The friend is a person you care about and you love, but you have a little bit more history. It's a bit more conditioned. It's like, yeah, I love you, but or I love you when you're like this and when you're like that. I don't really that much. Or it's just more complex. Maybe there is jealousy there. Maybe there is comparison. Maybe that there's you did this and I said that. There's all sorts of things. Fine. We want to make our meta capable so it can go there as well and enrich the level of meta of freely given, generous goodwill, kindness, friendliness in this kind of relationship as well. So it's not limited only to ourselves and the easiest person. It can flow, it can go even to places in which it's slightly more difficult in order to create a richer field of meta there and allow the relationship to be more flexible and easy. Less kind of note taking of you said this and I did that. It's fine, it's human. It's a level of things. But we can enrich the level that's in a way more generous. So as a friend, you can choose a friend or a spouse or your partner or a family member or something. All right, let's take time to practice. Please find a way to sit that really works for you. Of course, you can also stand, you can walk back and forth, you can lie down. Find a posture that really respects your body, its need for support, and its possibility for aliveness, openness, and sensitivity. If there is anything you can improve in the posture. And when I say improve, I mean that it becomes more supportive, easeful, and allows you to be more open and upright. Invite the lower part of the body to relax, so you're giving your weight to the earth, to the ground. And make yourself sensitive again to the uprightness and openness of the body, perhaps in a slightly subtler way this time. sensing into its natural movement upwards and even outwards. If you can relax any demand with regard to how the body should be like or feel like, and then briefly scan the body and relax any unnecessary effort. Then we can relax the body a little bit more systematically, starting from the top of the head, touching and relaxing there. Down the back of the head, the forehead. Around the eyes, down the face. Into the jaw and then down. The throat, the back of the neck, touching and relaxing there. Into the shoulders. All through the shoulders. The arms, the hands, the palms. Touching and relaxing. Then down the back. Down the spine, the right and the left side of the back. Into the tailbone and around it. And into the pelvis, down the hips and the legs. Then you can make yourself sensitive again to the belly and chest and relax those with the in and out breath. And from there, you can make yourself sensitive to the whole body. Opening, stretching your awareness so you're sensitive to your entire body. You can make the sensitivity a bit broader than the boundaries of the physical body, so you're sitting with your body full and surrounded with sensitivity. And you can find a center for your sensitivity, perhaps in the heart area. If it feels comfortable. If it doesn't feel comfortable, find a center elsewhere. It may be possible not only to be aware and sensitive to that center, but to be aware and sensitive as if from that center, as if the eye of your awareness is opening from there, feeling surrounding the whole body. Let's stay there for about a minute. Open the sensitivity again and again to the whole body. It will tend to shrink. It's worth opening it again. The sensitivity can touch and receive whatever is pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral in the field of the body. It's worth giving a little bit of emphasis to the pleasant. It can be easy to miss. And it can make it easier for the heart to harmonize, the body to harmonize. So sensitive to the whole body, emphasizing whatever is pleasant. Expanding the sensitivity to the whole body. See if you can make your sensitivity very kind as possible. Sensitivity, awareness, mindfulness always has an attitude with it, as if it's saying something. Can it say, may you be safe and protected? May you be happy and peaceful? This, as it touches the body, receives the sense of the body. May you be safe and protected. May you be happy and peaceful. course, you can find your own variation if you prefer. From there, you can let your awareness expand even further. Make it quite light and broad. Not attending to anything in particular, but to the sense of space around you. The room around you, sounds and silence. The landscape of your experience in a broad view. Touching and receiving all that with kindness, with friendliness, as if saying, may you be safe and protected. May you be happy and peaceful. In that field, it may also sense things like thoughts, movements of mind, inner climates and moods. Let your sensitivity touch those and receive those as well with this same kindness. Now here you have a choice. You can either just keep going this way, touching and receiving the totality of your experience with kindness. Let that become more and more subtle. Touch more and more aspects of the experience. Or you can invite a more formed sense of yourself to be sensed. However you imagine or sense yourself to be now or in a different time point. And let that form to be a figure somehow. Something you are sitting with, something you can attend to. With the intention to see yourself and receive yourself with kindness. May I be safe and protected. May I be happy and peaceful. You can invite the phrases to touch the body, like waves on the seashore, gently touching. Giving kindness, friendliness, healing. Sensitive to your whole body so that the body can sense what's helpful. Enjoy whatever moves in the direction of opening or softening. Let's take one more minute with this one. At this point, let yourself lean back a little bit. Let the effort relax. Let your experience be received with kindness. And then invite the heart, the body to radiate such kindness, well-wishing towards someone that's very easy for you to wish them well. You can let their being form in some way. Maybe visual, maybe not. Just enough to have a sense that you can hold them with kindness, can radiate metta towards them. That's enough. And encourage the metta just gently. Maybe it comes naturally. Or you may want to use the phrases or visual imagination. You can radiate light from your heart through your body towards them. suffusing them, nourishing their body, nourishing their heart, their being. Let's stay with this for a few minutes now. Please see what's working for you. The metta may need a lot of encouragement today, or it may be flowing quite easily. Consider that sometimes it's quite subtle, flows as if under the radar. You may not even notice. So you can experiment with making your awareness, your sensitivity quite light, and sensitive to the metta that's there. That may not be dramatic at all. See if you can let yourself enjoy it. Let the heart taste the goodness of goodwill. Let your awareness perceive everything around you, while maybe you're still with that easiest person. Radiate and receive everything, hold everything with kindness. And at this point, you can thank the easiest person. And if it feels right, you can invite a friend, someone that you care about, that you love, but that the relationship with are more complex, less obviously metaphor. And just in this way, receiving a sense of their body, of their being, of their heart, of their goodness. knowing their kindness, the good qualities of their heart and mind. Getting the sense of their wish and need for harmony, for safety, peace, and happiness, and ease, like all beings. And with this same open light sensitivity to the whole body, inviting the metta to move, to flow in their direction. Relax any sense of pressure that comes with it. Pressure towards how it should feel, or an inner demand towards them somehow that may be a habit in the relationship. If you can relax that for a little bit, just simply seeding seeds of metta. Rob would sometimes suggest you can imagine yourself placing a hand on their shoulder, expressing your kindness with touch, just imagining that, if it feels right, of course. Let's take a minute with all this. You can thank the friend. In a way, return to the sense of your body here. Very simply, grounded, open. Let your heart and mind take a note of whatever was helpful in this meditation. Perhaps there are some things that the mind would want to remember and apply during the day or future meditations. Then you can relax the meditative posture, relax the meditative intention, and invite your eyes to open if or when it feels right. So thank you for meditating in this way.
Today's podcast is an offering to you from our archive of freely available live daily classes. We make wisdom teachings and meditations as freely available as possible to as many people as wish to practice. You can help ensure we can continue to support a worldwide Sangha by leaving a review wherever you get your podcasts, by sharing this with someone who'd be interested, and by offering a small financial support at sangha.live/donate.